Well, we are still gaining valuable perspectives and insights from Mr. Mushabe. So, Mr. Mushabe, continuation from where we had stopped, how do you manage to handle? Well, mental health is key in this life. How do you manage to handle your emotional challenges when it comes to your profession?
One of the things that I do as a person, I don't mix work-related stress with home. I separate. I try as much to separate the two. There could be work challenges. I never bring them home. As a matter of fact, I try not to bring even my laptop home,
Oh.
because at least when I come here,
Mm.
it's a kind of my sanctuary where I join my boys and we forget about things that could have gone wrong at work. And I also try to have my me time meaning me and my family. Yes, like if it's not work, the Sundays are purely for my family. Public holidays, purely for family. And yeah, that's you. I try to. Yes, what as workers, even if it's business,
Mm.
at the end of the day, you realize that the people that you are most likely to have at the end are your family members.
Yeah.
But when you talk about the job, you can be replaced in no minute. If you are incapacitated or you die, they will replace you, the company will replace you, and the work goes on. But your family members, if something happens to you, it has a permanent impact on them. So, as those are some of the things that we need to always look out for.
Wow.
Not mix, not to know that a job is a job and family is family.
Mm.
At the end of the day, these are the people that you affect. A worker can say to go and get another job, just like I've been through a number of companies, but in
Mm.
the same field. But I have not been through a number of families.
Mm.
My family is family.
Of course, yeah,
Yes,
that stays around.
just stays around.
Speaking about all that,
Mm.
would you say there are some weaknesses in the management role? Things that are bound to happen no matter what. Of course, nothing is perfect, like we already discussed.
Like I've told you, nothing is perfect. Like I've
Mm.
told you, the companies that we run are not our companies. Sometimes you have to enforce a company directive,
Mm.
despite what you may have, you as a person,
Under any
under
circumstances,
any
you have to.
circumstance.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
okay, I've not been faced with where I have to say no, let me resign.
Mm.
Let me resign instead of doing this. Yes, but yes, I've resigned from one company because I did find the environment wasn't as good as I did find the environment good, so I resigned and I moved on. The company that I had my first job, after 6 years, it wasn't good. Like you talked about mental wellness, it
Mm.
wasn't good for my mental well-being.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay.
Sometimes, sometimes an environment can be toxic,
Of
so
course.
you say no, this is not what I want.
So, would you advise someone to maybe someone aspiring to be, okay, people in different career paths?
Mhm.
Would you advise them like, so your point here is if you're not mentally okay in a certain environment,
Leave,
just oh,
leave. What will it profit you
what
to
if I'm
become?
getting some good money from?
What good money when for you are still young? As you age, you get pressure. The money will be spent buying drugs?
Oh, I
Is
get.
that what you want?
No.
Mm.
Oh,
Or to have mental issues, or to not have a social life?
I get your point.
Yes. So you leave, leave. If the environment is toxic, leave. Of course, someone will say, no, for you, you've worked, you're a bit well off. If I leave, what do I eat? But try to look for another thing to do. As you are making ends meet, you move, because it has a long effect. You're in a toxic workplace, you come home, you transfer the same
to your family.
To your family, to your wife. There are fights. You rude to the children. You raise a generation of weirdos, which shouldn't be which shouldn't be the case.
Unhappy people.
Unhappy people. Unhappy people. You are unhappy at work. Unhappy at home.
Okay. Well, let's divert from all that.
Yes.
In your experience and maybe in your field work, how would you say technology has shaped your management role?
It has really shaped things. It has really shaped things. Technology has shaped things. Like the industry we are in, there are companies that have gone ahead and installed 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 technology at their stations. For example, let me start with simple things. Like, for example, us. I'll just talk. In general, most companies now have cameras
Yes.
at stations. So we know you can from head office you can
Monitor.
because you know we work 2 shifts. There are people who work day shift and night shift. So I'm able to go to check is such and such a station. Do they work at night? Are they serving customers? That's part of technology. 2, there is technology now that is installed on pumps that you are sure to know how many liters have been dispensed, how many liters are still in the tank. You can no longer you can no longer cheat like a company. You cannot say I've not yet sold because you connive with your supervisor. You keep saying I have 10,000 liters when in reality you have 2,000 and you have eaten the 8,000 liters, because some companies do have that technology. You can check, you say no, station in Budo has this number of liters. Where has the rest gone? If it has been sold, where is the money? So technology has come in handy. As we worked when we were starting out, even mobile phones were a bit, they were not like what they are today.
Okay.
It was prestigious to have a phone then, in 2003.
I get your point. Well, how do you stay updated with the industry trends, given that you're in the oil and gas sector?
First of all, we are told, and I think that's the truth, the Ugandan oil industry is very small.
Yes.
So we almost know each other. We know what happens everywhere. That's why you cannot commit. That's why if you are chased if you commit, like us who have survived all this time, there is something about us. That's why you cannot do something bad and say, I'm going to go and hide. I'm going to go and get a job in the same industry. We all know each other. First of all, that helps. It's a small industry and we know what goes around, what goes on. 2, we read all international trends, like things that if what is happening in Kenya, we have the sister companies that we keep feeding each other. And now that there's WhatsApp, we spend most of our time on WhatsApp. It's not mainly for other chats. It's also to do with industry, like all stations now in the country that we have, we run. I'm on their groups, station groups. In Kenya, I'm also on Kenyan groups. Transportation, the logistics, the guys that transport for us, we on those chats that we exchange information so easily.
Well, speaking of knowing each other and it being a small industry whereby you know each other, how important, that brings me to ask about networking. How important is networking when it comes to career guidance?
Networking is very, very important. And like I've told you, if you are, I've only applied my first job in 2003 to 2009. That's the one that I really sat. It was through newspaper. It wasn't through connections. The rest have been headhunted.
Okay.
It's because of also networking. Someone knows what you're doing, and you see, networking is a two-way. Yes, we are in competition, but we are not enemies. So if someone wants to know something, that way does not compromise my company. You don't. If I give you lies, be sure that you are also going to give me lies. For example, I would want, you see, Ugandan, like, for example, in our industry, it's a free economy. There is no price regulation. And sometimes we sell to independent customers. Now, if I call company X, I say, hey, hi, what are your prices? And the person deceives me. Then next time also I end up telling lies. But you may end up, you sell maybe high, you're out of the market, or you sell cheaply, and the company loses profits. So we communicate, we share prices, and we compete on other things. Friendship comes in handy. Like someone comes, they are independent people. Those other stations that you see, that independent stations, they come and buy from us. They can
Wow.
buy from me. They buy from another company, this company, this company. So what we do, we share those. We share almost everything. Now, what beat someone to sell to so and so and not and me I fail to sell to them, or I sell to them and they fail first, the person relationship. There are also other the company policies. Some other companies will say they don't give credit. Yet me I may be able to give credit, so I will take that customer. But these other common things of lies, we try not to we try to be share the information in the industry. Like I've told you, it's not it looks big, but it's a small industry.
Well, for someone green about networking,
Mm.
let's say someone interested in new industry
Mm.
as per se, um, someone with no starting point, how
Mm.
would you advise them to have effective networking? Where can they start from? What can they do? Which people can they look up to?
It depends on for example, our industry.
Mm-hmm.
Networking, for example, if you're interested in the industry, like I've told you, actually ours it would be so easy to maneuver into.
Okay.
You come, let me also go back to mentoring. You said, Dan, I would need you to mentor me on ABCD. I would say, yes, I'm good at this. But in company, if you come to Meru, where I work, of course, when you meet Dan, you met a receptionist, you met other people in other departments.
Yeah.
Then I say, no, I'm not good at LPG being gas, the cooking gas.
Mm.
I said, there is a good guy in the other company. Go and meet that person. So you also build your relationships. And networking, networking also, networking, like all things, there is also an element of sincerity.
Mm.
If you come for this, it should be that. As long as it's not that, then the value goes.
Yeah.
You come, you say, I've come for mentorship, then maybe you reach, you say, because I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, it's
You
okay.
know,
Yeah.
oil companies are, there's an assumption that we have money,
Yeah.
which
There's
is not
that mentality.
the
Yes.
mentality that
Yes.
we have money. But people who made money are those guys long time ago.
Okay.
But right now, it's a very competitive thing. You say, now you come, this oil man, I've come for mentorship. You start, then after you say, can you lend me maybe 1 million shillings? Then it
Oh.
loses
Meaning.
it
Yeah.
loses the focus. Okay, sometimes you can be badly forgiven, then you don't, maybe you never pay it again. There is an element of professionalism.
Have you encountered such?
We in our industry, you need to be very, very. It's a company of buffet. There's a lot of buffet in it,
Mm-hmm.
so it's something that we, like I always tell my kids, because there's you were able. It's good to see behind the
Mm.
face. It's we are easy to see behind the face because there is a lot. Like I've told you, we are dealing in a commodity
Mm.
that is easily convertible to cash. So there is the motivation still is so high.
Mm.
So you need to, there's that eye that sees behind what you are seeing. Like for example, I'll give you an example. And don't mistake me that this is customer service. Like
Mm.
sometimes when you drive into a station, you see guys, they are quick, cleaning for you, doing this, can I check under bonnet
Mm-hmm.
check, can I? Sometimes it's to divert you from looking at the fuel that is being put in your car. I mean, you need
Okay.
to have that eye. This, yes, they are good, this customer service. Sometimes it goes beyond what it's supposed
Supposed
to
to
be.
be.
Someone is acting, I say, these guys are so good. Oh, they are cleaning. Can we check under the bonnet? Can we? They are diverting you. They are find when they are putting air for you.
Wow.
You just the guys have cleaned my car. They have done all this, but
But
I've
then
run
I
out
don't
of
have
fuel.
fuel.
So in this industry, yes, you need to be alert because of the kind of, we are like a bank, but people don't see it that way.
Mm.
We hold money, real time money. It's cash. It's not a product. It's not like if I give you, like I've told, if I give you 20,000 liters to go and sell, you can easily sell them. But if I'm selling blankets and you come to me, I say, lady, this I don't have money, but take these 5 blankets and sell them. You say this man is mad. Why are you going to sell them?
Mm.
But
Yeah.
fuel,
So easy.
it's so easy.
Well, relating to the level of unemployment today in our
Mm,
country,
mm.
would you say partially? the fact that there are so many loopholes in career guidance, would you say it's somehow connected?
Yes, it's connected. You see, sometimes someone can say, I'm being guided on a career. Okay, the motivation to also to be career guided. When you see like employment, people are being employed. It's not technical know-how, it's technical know-who, the person you know.
Okay.
If it comes like that, so what's you say now? Let me guide you. If you studied this, you will be this. But the person says, Manawani is the one who's getting such and such. So also
Yeah.
that motivation goes down. You see graduates, guys go, does his bachelor's, does his master's, still has no job. Someone has a diploma, and they are riding high. There's no way you're going to convince the person who's seeing his sister at home that come and I guide you on this. They will look for what brings in money, whether it's legit or not legit.
Wow. Okay. In your own experience as we speak now, as your career is evolving, how have you managed to practice resilience and adaptability, given given the difficulties that come with you working in the oil and gas industry?
I think, to be honest, we started out, so many of us in this industry, but it's easy to fall off because the temptations are so high.
Okay.
The temptations are so high. You can easily fall off if you're not patient, if you're not focused, if you're not looking at this as your final destination. Like I've told you, being a general manager or in the fuel industry is not what I'm looking at as my final destination. I have ambitions. I'm looking at so many other things to follow because there are lots of temptations. I can tell you, when I was doing as a sales manager, I could give out credit of even maybe up to billions of shillings.
Wow.
So if you are not steady, there is a high you can easily steal from the company and you get sacked. And most people do steal in this industry. I think you always we are almost like banks. We don't advertise it, but there's a lot of stealing in our industry. And the mere fact that I've survived these 21 years, I thank God. And
It's an
maybe
achievement.
I'm not a thief.
Well, one would term you as an expert in the industry, given the years you've taken
Yes.
in the sector. For someone aspiring to maybe work in the oil and gas industry someday, what guidance would you offer right now? What advice would you give them right now as we speak?
Right now,
How can they navigate through the industry? Yeah.
right now, unlike our time, I don't want to speak like Bazays, that our time it was this and this. As we've learned mainly through experience and some added courses here and there that are relevant to what we are doing. But now there are courses in oil and gas. So in future, those are the people that will be given first preference. You not come that have, as we are still in the game because of the experience that we have. But there are many students who are who people have gone out to study oil and gas. There are schools of oil and gas. So looking forward, I think that will be priority number one. It's something that will be prioritized in the oil and gas industry, education. Then like I said, it's something that you love. You do. It's something that you should also love. Not here. This is the neck where the next money is. You go there and you not make it. Then others, right now, there's still also mentorship that we're talking about. We're here in the industry. Tie yourself to someone and they mentor you. You join as long as you have at least minimum qualifications. Don't underlook a job. You grow. Like when I left university, my first job was it was distributing some drinks. I sat on trucks, distributed, sold biscuits, sold drinks. Yeah, for about a year and a half. Then that's how I entered this industry. You need to be somewhere to get somewhere.
Wow,
Don't,
that seems inspiring. Would you give us a certain story
mm.
that relates to what basically shaped you in what you are today for someone looking up
Okay,
to you?
okay. Let me just tell you about work.
Mm.
I went to university in India. Uh, so when I returned, I get a job
Okay.
in Britannia. Britannia, they sell Splash and biscuits and sweets at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first job. So I said, let me just get, and the money was because when I look at my NSSF, the kind of money that was they were remitting, it must have been cartoon money, very
Mm.
little. Then I think they gave me a pickup to go and sell drinks and biscuits. So I did root sales. But every morning, in India, clothes are cheap.
Okay.
I would come with my suit, a tie. I start doing I start doing root sales. Smart,
Mm-hmm.
very smart.
Mm.
And the rest of the guys, maybe they didn't have opportunities. Let me not call them riffraffs,
Mm-hmm.
but they are dressing
Anyhow,
anyhow.
okay.
So the son of the owner, you stand, and I wasn't seeing him. You stand in the window, seeing things that are happening down. I'm there. I see someone calling me.
Mm.
That that's the sales and marketing manager is calling you. I think I had spent a month and a few days that is
Wow.
calling you. So I go there in my suit, my tie. Says, "How are you? I've seen you went to India school. Yeah, I did. I did. I went to India.
Mm.
Uh, I want you to hand over. You go and hand over the stock."
Wow.
I say, "Why?" "Yeah, you come and join me.
Mm.
You're going to become a promotions and brands manager." Just the mere fact the way you present yourself, it's very, very
I was
important.
about to ask you actually. I
Image
was
is
about
everything.
to ask you,
Mm.
would you think I was thinking to myself, you spent 1 month and a few
Eh.
weeks. I was about to ask, would you term that as luck or it's how you positioned
It's how
yourself?
you position yourself. And but I swear to God, I didn't have that in mind.
Mm.
That saying this is something that I'm doing. Let me get some money, some little money. I was living with my sister so that I
Mm.
get my own accommodation and have some money instead of asking your sister for money. That's what I was looking at. But the way you present yourself also matters
Wow.
in people, despite the problems that you have. Because I knew after work at 5, when I bring back the stock, I'll go and join my friends when I'm a smart guy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And when you're smart, I think that thing helped me so much. It did help me. The guy, and from that time, I like at my workplace, even the current workplace, wherever I worked anyway, because it's an industry that you need to be driving.
Mm.
Like, yes, when I would be in the field, I did a lot of field work. There's no place I've not driven in this fuel industry. You cannot tell me any district in Uganda where I've not been to.
Wow.
But the days of office, mm, you always find me in a tie, a coat. The way you the way we present ourselves
Well
is
presented.
you present yourself. Don't move with your problems.
Wow, Mr. Mushabe,
Mm.
as we're winding up this whole
Yes.
conversation, what words of wisdom would you have for anyone watching us right now, in regards, okay, helping them maybe develop their career in any form? Any words you would love to give them? Maybe encouragement.
One, those who are watching us, of course, you may think you people, looking at me,
Mm.
maybe the perception. You say you guys are in a way privileged.
Mm.
You've had a silver spoon, so you're just
Mm.
talking out of nowhere. But the truth is, in person, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I like I was telling you about greatness.
Mm. Mm.
Most of the things I've achieved them through the way we presented ourselves, being a reliable person, trying as much as you can to be honest. I'm not saying I'm very honest, but
Mm.
trying to the minimum to be an honest person, hardworking. Hardworking. Let me again another example. I
Mm.
joined a company when I was the regional manager
Mm.
of Eastern.
Okay.
the regional manager then whom I replaced was a foreigner, was a foreigner, and he was selling in those stations in Eastern from
Mm.
Rugazi. He was selling 800,000 liters a month.
Wow.
Here I come, I doubled them, and I'm telling you the truth, I doubled them. Even the owner, the guys, the the head office says, how does this happen? It's not that the stations didn't have potential, but people were doing. There were many things. There are many things that were being done, but
Mm.
because of the element of honesty,
Mm.
pushed sales. I also hardly worked there for many months, and I was brought in Central because that's where much business in Kampala is. Central
Yeah,
being
Kiambu.
Kampala,
Mm.
so I'm still emphasizing on the point of honest and a small job, however little you are earning, is better than staying home and begging or involving yourself in destructive behaviors. So there is you will grow, you will grow. Like they say, Rome was not built in a single day.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Mm.
You grow. There is growth. You will grow as long keep yourself safe, work hard, don't involve yourself in destructive behaviors.
Okay.
Too much alcohol is alcohol, and now there is a danger, especially of you young people, of drugs.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you have please have self discipline. The rest will fall in place.
Wow.
Mm.
Thank you very much for joining me, Mr. Mshave, and for your insightful information. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. The pleasure
Well,
is all mine.
one thing I've noticed, the keynotes to take home: patience, resilience, seeking mentorship,
Mm.
and also having passion for what you do, like Mr. Mshave said, are some of the things that we should maybe employ ourselves into for us to be successful in all different career paths. Until next